Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to connect with others effortlessly? Yeah, it's like they have a secret code or something. Did you know there's actually a psychological basis for creating these genuine connections? It's fascinating. Humans are hardwired to connect with others, and there are some cool tricks to help make it happen. Interesting, right? Stick around, because today we're diving into 12 psychology tips to help create a genuine connection with someone you like. Ready? Let's get started. Creating a genuine connection isn't just about talking. It's about truly understanding and engaging with the person you're interested in. So, let's break down some of these psychological strategies. Tip number 1, mirroring. Mirroring involves subtly mimicking the other person's body language and behavior to create rapport. It's not about being a copycat, but rather reflecting their movements in a natural way. If they lean forward, you lean forward. If they gesture with their hands, you do the same. This technique can make the other person feel more comfortable and understood. It's like saying, "Hey, we're on the same page!" But it's crucial to use this wisely and not overdo it. Being too obvious can come off as insincere. So how can you apply this? Well, next time you're having a conversation with someone you like, pay attention to their body language. If they cross their legs, wait a few seconds and then do the same. If they're nodding a lot, you nod too. The key is to keep it subtle, so it feels natural rather than forced. Over time, you'll notice they'll start to feel more at ease around you, and that's when you know it's working. Tip number 2, the Ben Franklin effect. This one's a classic. People tend to like others more after doing them a favor. Strange but true. It works because people justify their willingness to help by thinking they must like you. So go ahead and ask for that small favor. Who knew doing favors could be so beneficial? Now you might be wondering, how small should this favor be? Keep it simple, something that doesn't require much effort. For example, could you pass the salt? Or, do you have a moment to help me with this? This way, it feels like a natural request rather than a burden. Tip number 3, create shared experiences. Shared experiences, especially new and unique ones, can really strengthen bonds. Suggest doing something different together, like trying an escape room or attending a music festival. These novel experiences create memories and a sense of adventure that you both share. So, what new adventure will you embark on next? Think about it. When was the last time you bonded with someone over a shared experience? It could be as simple as trying out a new coffee shop or going for a hike. The key here is novelty. Doing something out of the ordinary can create a sense of excitement and curiosity. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Even a small change in routine can make a big difference. So, the next time you're planning to hang out with someone you like, think outside the box and suggest something new. Maybe a spontaneous trip to a nearby town, or even trying out a weird new sport like underwater basket weaving. Okay, maybe not that one, but you get the idea. Tip number 4, maintain eye contact. Eye contact is a powerful tool for building intimacy and trust. The trick is to balance it just right, not too much to be creepy, but enough to show you're engaged. Aim for maintaining eye contact about 50% of the time while speaking and 70% while listening. It shows that you're fully present and interested in what they have to say. Eyes are the windows to the soul, after all. Maintaining eye contact can be tricky. You don't want to stare, but you also don't want to avoid eye contact altogether. A good rule of thumb is to hold eye contact for about 4 or 5 seconds at a time. If you're unsure, practice with a friend or in front of a mirror. Notice how it feels when you maintain eye contact and how it changes the dynamic of the conversation. For those who find it hard to maintain eye contact, try looking at the person's nose or between their eyes instead. It feels less intense, but still gives the impression of eye contact. Over time, it will become more natural, and you'll notice the other person feels more connected to you. Just make sure not to overdo it and start a staring contest, unless you're really good at those. Tip number 5, share a personal challenge. Sharing personal challenges and vulnerabilities can foster a deeper connection. It's about being open and showing that you trust them with your struggles. For example, talk about something you're currently finding difficult, like balancing work and personal life. This can make them feel more comfortable sharing their own challenges, building mutual trust and understanding. When sharing a personal challenge, it's important to be genuine. You don't need to overshare or go into too much detail. Just a small glimpse into your life can make a big difference. For example, I've been struggling to find a good work-life balance lately. How do you manage it? This not only opens up a meaningful conversation, but also shows that you're human and approachable. And who knows, maybe you'll both discover that you're equally terrible at balancing your lives and you can laugh about it together. Tip number 6, give sincere compliments. A sincere compliment goes a long way in making someone feel valued. Focus on their efforts and achievements rather than just physical appearance. For instance, "I really admire how dedicated you are to your work." This not only boosts their confidence, but also shows that you genuinely notice and appreciate their efforts. Compliments should be specific and heartfelt. Instead of saying, "You're great," try something like, "I really admire the way you handled that project. It was impressive." This shows that you're paying attention and that you value their efforts. Compliments can be a powerful tool in building connections, so use them wisely and sincerely. And if all else fails, just compliment their choice of socks. Everyone loves that. Tip number 7. Use light physical touch. Appropriate. Light touches can build rapport and trust. A gentle touch on the arm or shoulder during a conversation can make a significant impact. It's all about being respectful and gauging their comfort level. Just a small, respectful touch can create a sense of closeness. But remember, always be mindful of personal boundaries. Physical touch can be a tricky area, so it's important to proceed with caution. A light touch on the arm when laughing at a joke or a gentle pat on the back can create a sense of connection. The key is to be subtle and respectful. If the other person seems uncomfortable, back off and give them space. When done correctly, light physical touch can enhance the feeling of warmth and closeness. But don't go overboard and start giving shoulder massages. Well, unless you're a professional masseuse. Tip number 8. Ask thoughtful follow-up questions. Show genuine interest by asking thoughtful follow-up questions. This demonstrates that you're actively listening and interested in their thoughts and feelings. For example, if they mention they love hiking, ask about their favorite trails and why they love them. This keeps the conversation flowing and shows that you care about their interests. Follow-up questions are a great way to keep the conversation going and show that you're truly engaged. For instance, if someone tells you about a recent trip they took, you could ask, "What was your favorite part of the trip?" Or, "Did you try any new foods while you were there?" These questions show that you're not just listening, but also interested in learning more about their experiences. And if they mention they love hiking, you can always joke, "Do you hike up to the fridge as often as I do?" Tip number 9. Positive assumptions. Make positive assumptions about the person, which can create a warm and encouraging atmosphere. For instance, assume they'll succeed in their endeavors and express that belief. Saying something like, "I'm sure you'll find a great solution to that problem," can boost their confidence and create a positive connection. Positive assumptions can change the tone of the conversation and make the other person feel more optimistic. For example, if someone is worried about making new friends, you could say, "Just be yourself. People will appreciate you." This not only boosts their confidence, but also shows that you believe in their abilities. It's a simple yet powerful way to build a positive connection. Tip number 10. Ask for advice. Asking for advice is a subtle way to show respect and admiration for the other person's knowledge or experience. People love to feel valued and appreciated. Ask for their opinion on something they're knowledgeable about. For example, "I'm thinking of starting a new hobby. Any recommendations?" This shows that you respect their expertise and value their input. Asking for advice can be a great conversation starter and can make the other person feel valued. It shows that you respect their opinion and are open to learning from them. For example, "I've been thinking about getting into photography. Do you have any tips?" This not only opens up a conversation, but also makes the other person feel good about sharing their knowledge. Tip number 11. Use similar language patterns. Matching the other person's speech patterns and choice of words can create a sense of familiarity and trust. It's a subtle yet powerful way to build rapport. If they use specific slang or phrases, incorporate them naturally into your conversation. Just be yourself, but a slightly adjusted version that resonates with their style. Using similar language patterns can create a sense of harmony and understanding. For example, if the person you're talking to uses a lot of positive language, try to match that positivity in your responses. If they're more casual, you can also adopt a more casual tone. It's all about making the other person feel comfortable and understood. And if they throw in a funny phrase, feel free to adopt it and use it later. Just make sure you know what it means. Tip number 12. Emotional mirroring. Reflecting the emotional state of the other person can make them feel understood and appreciated. Use statements like, "It sounds like that was a really hard experience," to mirror their feelings. If someone shares a difficult emotional experience, show understanding by reflecting their feelings. But it's important not to overdo it. Using this technique too much can seem insincere, so use it wisely. Emotional mirroring is about validating the other person's emotions. For example, if they share a story about a tough day, You could say, "That sounds really challenging. I can understand why you'd feel that way." This helps them feel heard and understood, which can deepen your connection. But remember, if they're upset about spilling coffee on their shirt, maybe don't say, "I feel your pain," unless you're wearing a matching stain. So there you have it. These tips might seem simple, but they're rooted in psychological principles that can genuinely help build connections. Creating a genuine connection with someone isn't just about talking. It's about engaging, understanding, and making the other person feel valued and heard. By using these tips, you can foster deeper, more meaningful relationships. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment below. What's your favorite way to connect with someone? Let's chat about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.